We out of here, baby. Let's go.
Sandman, I'm gonna get you.
Test.
Something you got moving over there that's making noise. What's up? What's up? You're locked in again to Motor City Radio live on the Vent Radio Network. And here's your host, Sexy Shakenya.
Good evening, and welcome to Motor City Radio. This is Sexy Shakenya in the house, and I'm chilling with my brother Malik the King.
What up, dog? What up, dog? Malik in the house.
And Sand 44 man.
What up? What up? It's your man, the one and only Mr. Sand 44 man. Hey, y'all enjoying this nice day today?
Can y'all hear me? Because it sounds like this.
Can y'all hear me?
Tapped out a little bit. Something went crazy. Hey, wow, it's live. Y'all know
Come
shit
on,
happens. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. Okay, well, we in the house.
What we got on the table today?
We got a lot going on. You know, we've been promoting this show all week long, and people been chiming in, tuning in, or in my DMs, sliding all in my DMs for this show. I wish they were sliding in my DMs for something else, but they were sliding here because we got fellas from the Detroit Medical Center here.
That's right. That's
and
right.
we about to blow this thing wide open because there's a lot going on, and this is very dear to my heart because y'all know I was in the Detroit Medical Center damn near most of my life, and I got family there, people still there, people that has left, and this story just kind of hit home for me. So shout out to my homeboy. Should I say his name? I don't say his name. That plugged us all together, but he know who he is. But for the most part, we gonna get right into this show. We ain't gonna hold them up too much longer because you good down there, Glenn? I told you about being down there.
So let's start with some introductions. Who do we have in the house today?
We're going to let them introduce themselves. Who we got over here in the corner?
Derek Rushing.
Hey, Derek Rushing. Who
Hey,
we
how
got
you
over there
doing?
on the side? Ken Daniels, better known as Onk. In the house.
How y'all
Yes.
gentlemen doing?
Yes.
We're doing fine. And you know what? I want to say thank you. This
Oh.
is truly a blessing to be before you today to
Oh.
discuss this issue.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get started with that then. What is the issue?
The issue at DMC
Mm-hmm.
is the assaults that take place there.
Get close to the mic, baby, because we want people to hear what you got to say. This is very important.
The assaults that take place at the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and also the racial codes
Oh.
that we discovered at the hospital for white and black.
Okay.
Racial codes.
Racial codes.
Mm.
It is code 3
Okay.
is for white.
Okay.
Code 4 is for black.
And how did they use these codes, if you don't mind me asking?
They use these codes in a form of hiring
Mm-hmm.
individuals, and if you let's just say if they don't want you
Mm-hmm.
and they say you're code 4,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to get hired.
Oh, that sounds a little illegal.
Wait a minute. Isn't that a little bit of
Yeah.
racial profiling shit?
It sounds a little bit illegal to me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me ask you this. So, well, they wouldn't tell you that, but they would. How were they actually communicating the codes?
amongst each other,
The administration?
the administration.
Okay.
And what happened was once it got unveiled or uncovered, which was there was a administrator who came forward, and she stated that these individuals who were administrators using these racial codes inside the hospital. And so we uncovered it when we put forth a OSHA complaint.
Mm-hmm.
And with that OSHA complaint, we sent it to the state of Michigan. And after they conducted an investigation, they agreed with us that, one, there was a manpower shortage,
Mm-hmm.
and then two, that individuals were not safe, and I repeat, were not safe inside the hospital. And not only did they receive violations, but they also received a fine.
Okay. That was it?
That's well.
Ain't no heads roll behind that because it seemed like it should have started from the top.
And
Couple
this
people
is
shoulda
stemming
got
from
fired.
the Michigan regulations that was reviewing the investigation of the Detroit Medical Center after filthy surgical tools interrupted an operation just one day after the state ended its probe of dirty instruments at the system. The Detroit News learned. Now, it's also stating that on December 22nd, the Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs notified the DMC that there was no longer a violation 8 code, health code. What was up with that?
Now with the health code and the surgical equipment, which was a separate issue than what we were really that we sent out to the state of Michigan, we didn't know nothing about that. So when that came out, we said, "Whoa, surgical equipment."
So it's a lot going on over there.
Yeah. That being the case, because I'm just trying to get a line on something. That being the case, so what was the consequence again after the complaint was filed with OSHA?
They received fines, and they received recommendations, and also that they were notified of violations that they wanted corrected.
Okay.
And once they had a certain amount of time to correct those violations, and what we did was we wanted to give OSHA enough time to do their job.
Okay.
All right. So they came in, they did their job. We tried to give the individuals, the administration, a chance to, correct the wrong.
Right.
So after a year, we put forth another OSHA complaint because the problem didn't get better; it got worse.
Oh wow!
And that include officers being assaulted, officers being injured, patients and employees and the visitors were also being injured. And from that point, we put forth the second complaint, which was a month ago.
Okay.
And so we just waiting. We waiting for a response from OSHA. So we want, like I said, we want to do the same thing again.
Okay.
We want to give them time to come in and see what the problems are, because you know what, when an individual comes to the hospital, they want to be treated,
right,
not assaulted.
Right.
Treated, not assaulted.
Right.
So, and they don't want to be, don't want to be fall victim to being robbed or even raped. All right. And can we say that happens?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Not enough staff.
Oh, step to the mic a little bit. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, not enough staff.
Okay.
Really, what we have is we've got 7 positions. We've got our information desk and our main lobby. We have an officer stationed there.
Okay.
We also have 2 are supposedly stationed at our metal detector, where
Okay.
we check everybody, and everybody is going to see a medical doctor and an ER. We have to go through their things to make sure that there's no weapons or anything like that.
Right.
Try to cut down on the assaults. We also have 2 emergency entrances. We have what we call an ambulance entrance, where the ambulance and the police come in through this door.
Right.
We have an officer supposedly stationed there 24/7 as well.
Yeah, when I used to work there, it seemed like y'all had 2 people at one door, and then it was somebody always at the other door.
Yeah, well, there were 7 of us
Yeah.
at that time, but it was also not necessarily that they were always stationed there, like
Okay.
an ambulance. When there was a run in the ER, that person would end up going there, so it would kind of be.
So on a night shift,
Okay.
say for instance, because I used to come through there sometimes and just, have emergencies or whatever. But I used to remember back in the day when you used to go up in there, it was a madhouse. 2 people got shot, separate families. They all in the ER together. Fight break out.
Yeah.
You
That's
only
normal.
2 on the shift. You know what I'm saying? Fight break out.
That's
Everybody
normal.
in chaos. What do you do? I mean, are you staffed enough in order to just handle just that alone in the ER, as well as the patients themselves in the rooms then?
But we mainly have just enough staff in most cases just to cover those particular areas. Nothing additional, because if something goes on up in the bedrooms, one of these areas will have to be vacated to go take care of that situation.
Right.
Right. So we'll have to send an officer there. Mainly, we'll send the one at the information desk and one of the ones who are stationed at the metal detector. So instead of 2 being there at all times, that want to be taking care of those particular areas.
So your position there is, what is your position? Exactly?
We call a police authority officer. What we call, we have police authority, PA 330. We have police authority while we're in full dress uniform on the property and on the clock at that time. When one of those 3 are not there, we have no authority to do anything.
Oh.
Now let me ask the essential question so I can make the connection. Does any of this that we're speaking of now connect with the codes and things that go on there? Is there a motivation behind, do you think, by the administration to leave it in the way that it is when you know the problem is there? Why do you think no one's trying to fix it? I guess is what I'm asking. What is there a motivation behind that? Is that somewhat connected to the racial disparity? What do you think is going on here?
That's a good question, and I'm going to
That
answer.
make me want to quit.
And who's in charge of it? That's the real deal.
I
Who's
like
in
the
charge of it?
danger.
That's a good
It's
question.
not a safe environment.
I could tell you, just to give you the makeup here. We're talking about supervisors.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the sergeants, lieutenants, and also the managers, and also the director, you may have 90% of the supervisors are white.
Okay.
Only we're looking at maybe less than 5%.
Wait a minute, you said 90% of the supervisors are white in the urban black city. Do they have better qualifications than black people?
No, what he means by that is the whole DMC. We're not talking about the downtown campus. We're talking about the downtown campus.
That's what I'm saying.
Downtown campus, we're dropping down to about 2%.
Are you serious?
To my understanding, is there any other manager, team leader that's black besides the one?
There's only one.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Because like in the last 5 years.
And how long has this been going on?
Well,
5 years
in the last 5 years, there have been 21 positions. One hasn't been filled yet.
Mm-hmm.
These 20 positions have been filled by white males, all 20 of them.
But wait now, Mr. Daniels, because you've been there forever, baby. You mean to tell me you have not moved up to a different position since I've been there?
I've been there for 10 years.
And I ain't been there since 2009. And you have not been promoted yet?
I can't get an interview, so promotion, that's
out of the question. Hell no, because I know you are highly qualified. Just from your background and what I know of you, you should have been promoted. You should have been supervisor by now.
Well, little things like this is, I think, is what keeps me out of that loop.
Okay. You always getting in trouble.
Little things like
They was always starting shit.
Right. Little things like this.
Starting the uproar, revolution. Okay.
It keeps a lot of us out of the loop.
But before that happened, though, before you guys started with this uprising, because that's what I'm gonna call it, because you guys are standing up against something that's wrong. So before that, though, like I said, I was there in 2009. Before that, though, Mr. Daniels had distribute, the type of, how can you call it, demeanor to where he should have been promoted to supervisor then.
Right.
Very knowledgeable about policies, just his background and everything alone. So from 2009 to this 2017, I'm just curious to know why he has not been promoted since then.
When I first came to the DMC, well, let me just say, I'm a retired Wayne County Sheriff's Deputy, and my last position held at the Sheriff's Department, I used to work in internal affairs.
Okay.
And after working in internal affairs, recent graduate at U of L. I'm back in school now, and when I first came across Mr. Daniels, let me tell you, awesome guy. Awesome guy. So
you hear me call him Unc? I don't call everybody Unc. I don't relate to nobody with family. I'm real funny acting.
And so the chemistry between us, all of us guys, we became family. So as we became family, well, naturally looking at our backgrounds, we were put in for positions.
Okay.
But number one, either you would not get an interview, or they would find a reason to write you up to prevent you to go into on that list. So, or that also means that they have an individual handpicked for that job, and you wasn't getting that job.
So it's my understanding to see that, okay, not only did you not have sufficient staff that was on a level keel with black and white, but you also had the favoritism of individuals who really didn't need to be in the position because maybe somebody else had that position for a little longer time. And then they
seniority should
right,
been
and then they say,
one
well,
thing.
they've been transferred from another DMC hospital with more seniority. So what? I mean, can you argue it?
No, that's not even an issue there. We have a department policy to get around that type of situation.
Oh,
It says
okay.
first come, first serve.
Okay.
So you fill out this little form, and I put May 1st on mine, but I want you to have that position. So I'm gonna have you put in one. We're gonna backdate it, so nobody else gets to see these forms.
Okay.
So that's when the problem comes in when you're dealing with seniority. You take someone like me. I worked state of Michigan mental hospitals. I was assistant director for about 10, 11 years. I was the director of the security department at one of the hospitals for almost 10, 11 years. And I ran that, had the biggest security department in the whole state system. But my qualifications don't even get me an interview.
Wow.
I can't get an interview either.
But I'll watch my white colleagues and friends with less experience to no experience whatsoever go to interviews 4, 5, 6 different times. But they say we don't. But what it was explained to me, well, we don't pick. HR picks who we interview, and that's how that works. And that's the story that I'm told.
That's very interesting because as I'm sitting here thinking, I was going to ask you, and you actually said what it was that I was trying to hear. So basically, because what happens when you have applicants from a human resource standpoint, when you have applicants apply for a job, the way that you consider them is through interview. So if you have applicants that actually apply for a job and they don't get an interview, then they're not even considered, which seems to me to be the underlying problem here is that let's be frank, you have African-American males or even females that might be applying for positions in an organization who are not even considered, although their qualifications would put them in a situation where they obviously are qualified. Is that where we are?
Yes, it is.
And did y'all hear what he said, World? Not even considered, not qualified, considered.
All right.
So if I want to bring your nephew in, that has no qualifications whatsoever, last thing you want to do is have someone like me and Mr. Russian sitting at the interview table, because then we're gonna really cry foul in. So the best thing is, from my perspective, if they don't sit at the table, we can eliminate that problem.
Right.
And then blame it on another department. That's why we didn't interview you. But I also know the policy says you promote from within first, and that ain't happening with us.
Now let me
go ahead.
For any of those individuals who were hired in, considered first of all, who you have established are probably white or other than black, are you aware of any specific individuals' qualifications where you kind of say, well, we know we got well-qualified people that's been here. Why would that person be hired, considering that their qualifications are not as much? Are you aware of any of those situations?
Is that a caller? We got to call in.
Yeah,
hey, we got a caller coming in.
Line.
Let's get the callers.
We'll hold that question and take this caller.
Okay.
Welcome, caller. You're on Tuned In to Motor City Radio. Hello.
Don't be scared. Say something.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Oh. Digger.
Oh, hang up.
Oh, we got a Donald Trump supporter live on
Yes,
Motor City
we
Radio.
do.
Can you believe that?
Well, how you doing?
Right. Why you want to get on?
Right.
You on live. What's happening?
XD. That's what I shoot you with.
You hitting us
Okay.
with a what?
Hang up. Because we ain't got time for that. We got some serious
Right,
calls
man,
going on. here.
No. Let him talk because we on this.
I'm just curious. Are we?
Why did you call us?
Because I got the XD.
Okay, yeah, you can.
Yeah,
hang that
he's
up.
a fool. Call.
So
him.
I was just making sure that we're getting prank
Right,
calls on
exactly,
this show.
right.
I had prank
Listen,
calls
ladies
before.
and gentlemen,
Never.
when you call the Motor City Radio, if you calling us right now, give us something what we're really working with. Right now, we're with the people down here at the DMC.
They already know
talk
that.
about
That's why they
the
call it.
That's why they call it. 'Cause we ain't never had a prank call.
You stating the obvious, brother.
If you go call in, at least call in with
You don't have to
decent
explain that
questions.
to our listeners.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I mean, y'all Donald Trump supporters, welcome
so-
to Motor City Radio.
Okay.
So wait a minute.
Get back to what's going on.
So I'm hearing now Now, first of all, you guys just made history. This show just made history. Out of the 4 years that we've been doing this, we have never had a prank call.
Mm-hmm.
So something is in the mix.
It's a distraction.
And the folk who just called in, what you did, you just helped the case
Mm-hmm.
because you just proved that there's something wrong.
What did he say? Nigger, 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 nigger.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
So not wasting any more time on you. The question is that there were other folk who was hired in positions that had possibly less qualifications or maybe the same. And I was wondering if you guys were even aware of any of those situations that made you say, why would that person be hired considering that we have brothers here already who have the qualifications or more?
Let me answer something, and let me inform you about one thing.
Mm-hmm.
At the DMC, inside the security department right now, there is a black female
Mm-hmm.
who has every single qualification that you could just about think of. She worked for the state. She has a master's degree. She has a bachelor's degree. She's done training all through the state of Michigan. And also, she's done training for the DMC. And guess what? Her credentials, she can't even get an interview.
All right. So not even being considered again.
No.
So, this is deep, and I got a couple of questions. So I hope my co-hosts don't mind. How does this tie into, because I keep hearing the word before I came to the show, whistleblower. Tell me how that ties in.
Well, first of all, when we started this, we were only concerned. Our only concern was the patients and employees, and also the visitors, because there was a lot of assaults that were going on, individuals being jumped on, robbed, or what have you. That was our concern. We didn't concern ourselves with anything else. We were going out of the way to see if we can stop these assaults. Going to management, no. So we went outside the DMC. So we went to OSHA. It kind of tells you something that when OSHA can step in and say, hey, these guys are telling the truth. Hey, they are right. There is no manpower. And then to come back and not only give them the violation, but you got a fine too. So that kind of tells you an independent entity outside the DMC saw what we were talking about.
A regulatory.
Right.
Right.
So about the qualification thing, because I got another question too. Were you aware possibly of anyone who was hired that you thought, or you knew for sure that, man, there's no way, we're not even being considered, but we have guys that's coming in that probably has less qualifications or equal than guys who already been here for many years?
Well, I know, I look at myself. I'll sit and I'll watch individuals that get promoted and they're in charge of things, and you can tell they don't know what they're doing, don't have a clue. And you sit there and you know that you can do this job. You can do it really well. You even throw out suggestions to try to make things better. But because you said it, we ain't doing it. And things end up like they are. The safety issues are in the situations where they are now.
You know what? I'm sitting here and I'm going through this thing, but you're on a separate latitude than what we're looking at as far as the instruments and the things of that nature. You're on the security part of it. Why isn't it that your issue hasn't been addressed? I mean, you've talked to your staff, you've talked to your administration. Who's over them?
Sam, man, I had the same question, because and my question was, the way I'm forming it is, once OSHA came, did what they did the administration even try to negotiate?
Right.
Did they even try to address anything with you?
Or
guys?
did they even speak with any of you about it, or interview you about it and investigate it?
That's a good question, brother.
The word is called retaliation.
Oh, man.
You guys are getting
Too deep.
We've never seen phone calls like this. Usually when our callers come in, I'm able to recognize their credentials.
Mhm.
You guys are getting nothing but unknown callers.
Oh wow.
This is real.
Yeah,
I've never seen this before.
Yeah,
In the
this is
history,
deep.
I've never seen this before.
Mhm.
Well, before we get back into it, I do
yeah.
got to give a shout out to Enrico Williams, Lamone. Hey, Mom. Christopher. Hey, how you doing? Angela, how you doing, baby girl? Hey, my baby daddy, Timbo. What's going on? Hey, Tamara. Hey, Curtis. Hey, Jamie, my old school friend. Hey, I keep getting security job notices from DMC, especially from children. Somebody did put a statement that said, I keep getting security job notices from DMC, especially from children's, and I think Harper. I wonder what website screen the applicants. He's black, by the way, and he said he's keep getting notices. I guess as if you guys are hiring and looking and.
Oh yeah, we're doing a lot of hiring. Well, we do have.
High as y'all
he wanna know
turnover.
how
I
they
should add.
screen
Turnover.
Yeah.
High as
Because
your
listen to the
turnover.
show, maybe he thinking, now they looking for black folks now because y'all doing what y'all doing and going through what y'all going.
But you know what? More importantly, too.
They're trying to make it right. And all this is allegedly.
Yes, allegedly.
If it's
We just a media outlet, allegedly,
if it's one thing we always, would say, especially by me being a ex-police officer out in the street,
Mm-hmm.
we always say that you have to stand up. All right, help us so we can make things better.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and all of us have basically gotten together. We have unified, and you know what? And more people are coming.
Mm-hmm.
And what we are doing is we're standing up and we're speaking out. We're gonna stop this
Okay,
because it has to stop.
that's right.
Because you know what? What happens when you go to the hospital and it's one of your relatives that get assaulted?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of your relatives that get raped.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? And the thing is, it shouldn't have to get to that point
Right.
where we have to sit down and write OSHA to secure our safety.
Mhm.
It shouldn't have to come to that.
Absolutely. Can I put something in perspective for our listeners? If you don't understand what that environment is like, whatever is on the street hits the hospital floor. The hospital is kind of like everything that's on the street comes in there, because a lot of folk who come in there come out of violent situations or different things are going on. I mean, it's a kind of crazy, chaotic situation. And I couldn't imagine, being a police officer or a security guard in that environment is just like I can imagine being right on the street in the worst neighborhoods, because the worst of the worst do come to the hospital. Some folk come for regular illnesses, but I can tell you, if you're there at some portion times of the night or day, there's some stuff that's going on where security is definitely needed. The safety is definitely needed, because if I'm a patient, because I've been a patient, I've walked into a hospital and I'm like, I'm sitting there looking at somebody going kind of crazy, and I'm thinking, okay, go on, security, get them. Right? Because I'm here myself. What am I going to do?
Right.
I'm just hoping security takes care of that. I'm not, and that's what everybody wants to happen when they're in an environment like that. But you guys have a hard job, and I just wanted to put that in perspective.
Well, see, that was our job. Mainly, you are not ever supposed to see all of that, because we're supposed to put that down before it ever happens.
Oh wow.
We're supposed to see the potential of that coming up.
But what about when I told you about two families? Two of them got shot. They coming in the same.
See, if I ain't got adequate staffing.
But you know what? I will speak on their
Okay.
behalf.
Okay, we got another
You got-
caller. Hopefully,
Okay.
a better one. Welcome to Motor City Radio. Who's on the air?
Well,
Hey, how you doing? Who's calling?
just number 55.
You tried to get to us 3 times. Okay, you're on the air. What's the deal? You got a comment?
I like the order.
You like the order? No, this ain't Domino's, player. Let him go.
Hang up. Y'all just don't understand. Y'all started something here. Y'all have started something here.
Okay, you try to take up that time. So let me get back, because I'm on a line.
Yeah, we got that diversion
I'm
going
on the
on.
line right now. So again, what I want to do is the connection to, because I kept hearing the word whistleblower, and you was getting there, and then we kind of got off again. Can you tell me how that connection, how that came together, some kind of way, or how it's even relevant?
Well, being a whistleblower, you're informing the agency that there are things that's inadequate, and there's this things that's unsafe inside the workplace.
Right.
All right. So once that is sent to OSHA, that becomes protected activity.
Of course.
So that means that you as an individual are supposed to be protected because you're trying your best to inform the agency that there's some wrongdoing going on here. All right. So once OSHA comes in and does their investigation, you are supposed to be protected because you told about the violations. But once the employer, and I'm talking about the staff, the supervisors, find out that you're the whistleblower, you're getting retaliated. When I say retaliated against, you won't be able to get certain days off. You get the unnecessary write-ups. You get the,
in other words, a witch hunt.
So the
Absolutely.
whistleblower is the one that let you guys know or let everybody know that there was some racial discrimination going on, and as far as the codes are concerned.
as far as with the codes and also the unsafe environment at the hospital.
Okay. Is this still DMC still owned by Vanguard?
They
No,
are
they were
involved.
bought
Yeah,
They were bought out.
They were bought out by 2 years later
by Tenet.
Tenet Healthcare out of Dallas.
So
Okay. Well, we're going to have to take a break for a minute, Glenn, so we can switch it up because we got another brother in the house
That's
who
right.
has suffered the same. You know, Ken's still standing. You the last man standing
how much
because
time we got? 'Cause I
you're
got
not
one more
there. Are
question.
you
No,
any longer?
I got one
no
more
longer-
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
one more
got one more.
Okay,
for
one
it.
more
I got one more
question.
question. I almost took it from me. The question is, are you aware of anyone who was involved in the whistleblower activity who is no longer there anymore? Who was? No names, just yes or no. Somebody disappeared or not?
Good
Has
question.
anybody disappeared yet?
Okay, you can put it this way. This thing started, was that last year before last?
Year and a half ago.
Okay, and then a second one was filed April 5th. Since that time, we've had 3 people terminated.
No,
Oh, I'm sorry, 4 people terminated.
a whole shift
A whole
written up.
shift written up,
Mm.
and it's all in conjunction with the whistleblowers. Everybody that's been written up is in a tie-in with those who were the whistleblowers, either directly or indirectly.
Just a whole
Harassed.
conspiracy.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're tuned in to the Motor City Radio Show with your girl, the one and only sexy Shakenya, brother Malik, and the man, the one and only Mr. Sand 44 man. We'll get back with you. 65 degrees and mostly sunny. Enjoy it. We'll be back 15.
Okay, no, we're going to.
Y'all bad.
Y'all bad. Your business out there like big boys. Come advertise with us over at ventradio.net, where we have commercial slots as cheap as $3 per spot. Give one of our sales reps a call. 218-506-8368. ventradio.net.
Man, I am losing my mind. I don't believe this stuff right here.
What's wrong?
It's my girl. Her hair look crazy.
Oh, no problem. Have her go where I go.
And where exactly is that?
My sisters and me 24-hour hair braiding. They are located at 18443 Illinois. They are fast, affordable, and reliable.
Yeah, okay, I hear you, but how reliable are they? Really?
Well, they are considered number one in 24-hour hair braiding, specializing in natural hair care and hair growth.
Okay, I get the reliable thing, but how fast are they? Seriously.
Yes, they have 2 braiders per head.
Okay, I got the part about fast and being reliable, but tell the truth, how affordable are they?
Look, just call 313-340-9515. The number again is 313-340-9515.
Oh, that sounds like the place you really need to go. So that's my sisters and me, 24-hour hair braiding, right? Got you. Thanks.
You're locked in to Motor City Radio, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
See me, I never stress though. I'm on to the next now. Getting money, yeah, I'm blessed now. I just put up in that Rory.
No name. Oh,
he just gave. He just gave.
Yeah.
He a gangster.
He get pissed.
Hey, VentRadio.net.
And we back.
Good evening, and welcome back to Motor City Radio. If you just tuning in, you done missed it, so you're gonna have to catch us later because we about to dive right into the second part of the show. Yes, we are, because we done brought another brother in. Look at this old chocolate brother. I tell you, he bringing dark skin back. We got Bailey in the house, and can you believe it's two of them? God damn it, it's two of them. Do you hear me? I still can't tell them apart. So this is Bailey number 2. Back up a little bit. Oh, I'm getting too vicious. Is that okay, Glenn?
Yes, okay.
That's better. Okay. All right. So Bailey, welcome to the table. You heard what's
welcome
going
to the show.
on.
Welcome
Yep,
to the
thank
show.
you, thank you.
And you are here because
You part of security too?
yeah.
I am part of security.
Fix
Tell
your
us your
collar, baby.
story.
Fix
What's
your
what-
collar. Fix your collar. We
Yeah,
can't
we
have you
got
bold
you out
out
here
here
live.
like
We don't want
that.
you looking
Yeah, we
bold.
can't
Yeah,
have
there
you
you
like
go.
that.
There
You my
you go.
brother.
My man.
It look nice now.
Yeah, you good
Okay.
now.
Yeah, I was.
So tell us your story. Tell us what's going on with y'all down there.
Well, I was terminated.
For what reason?
For being a whistleblower.
Wow.
Oh,
For being a whistleblower. They
Well,
came
that
up-
answers that question.
right. Come closer to the mic. There you go.
They
What was it that you had a problem with that you expressed that got you terminated?
Well, I believe what Officer Russell was saying that backing him up.
Mhm.
I've been there 17 years
Mm-hmm.
since this organization then took over for us management.
Mm-hmm.
I had about 7 or 8 write-ups, been on final once out of my whole 17 years there, and never been on final or written up for petty things.
So out of the 17 years, only recently, possibly in the last year or so before your termination is when all of the write-ups and stuff kind of went down.
Correct.
Yeah, that's definitely a change.
Mhm.
So, and that made an impact on you. And obviously the termination did. I do have to ask a question, and this would be of both of you, because we're talking 17 years, and I think you said 10. Now, we know that our current mayor, Dugan, was over DMC even during the time that both of you guys were there. Do you feel that there was a sense of the same type of behavior under his leadership, or was it a change since the time that he left?
Well, it's kind of hard to say. It's I would say things have really changed. They've changed a whole lot.
Okay.
But we also have to take in consideration we have additional staff who are knowledgeable about laws like OSHA laws, more familiar with policies and whatnot. The department was more or less, you don't receive policies and procedures when you come in. You do it this way, do it that way. Do something wrong that I don't particularly like, then you'll get that policy. This is what you did wrong, and this is why I'm writing you up. I'm like, what is this? I've never even seen this before.
So is this, I'm understanding, a policy as we go?
Correct.
Yeah.
Listen, yeah.
I call it, I refer to it as a plantation-like mentality. Teach them nothing, they won't cause you no problems.
But when they're out of line, make sure
Yeah.
you check
Uh-huh.
their ass.
Yeah,
Wow.
you got that one that's standing up. We got to put him down.
Right.
because we don't want anybody getting on board. And this
Right.
is what's happened. More of us have got on board. Initially, the first one, 3 people signed it.
Now, Betty, do you feel the same as far as the question that he asked when Dugan was over it? Has the atmosphere changed? Is it the same?
To me, it's since Dugan left, the atmosphere has changed just a little bit.
Okay.
But I'm speaking about our management team in security.
Okay.
Specifically.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
The it changed.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
And so I'll ask the same question in regards to, because obviously DMC changed ownership while you guys were there. Do you think did you feel a difference in regards to the two companies, that the old one and now the new one? Was there a shift in a lot of things in regards to what the platform of what we're talking about tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Racism and possible disenfranchising folk of color?
I would say that it changed because our upper management and our department changed. I can't really say if it had anything to do with the management of the hospital itself.
Okay.
Because up until now, we never even got that far up
Okay.
there to dealing with the upper management, where we had to go outside the department. Well, we have a thing what we call a hotline where we could put your complaints in on that. And I don't think I really got anywhere with those.
Okay.
And to the point we had to go outside the hospital to make these things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then let me ask you another question then. is there a different human resource department that hires security than there is that hires doctors and nurses and janitors and so forth?
I was about to ask the same
I did not
thing.
mean to laugh, but that's,
what
serious.
I found interesting, you have a hospital policy that says, for example, after 6 months, you can transfer, you can be promoted, and these type of things. Then I look and we have a department policy that says you can't do this till after 12 months on a shift before you can be considered transferring or being promoted, which I thought was rather odd that you got a department policy that overrides a hospital policy.
Right.
It is odd.
And a hospital policy, bottom line of it says, if you do not follow this policy, corrective action will be taken up to termination. But that doesn't happen.
That has to do with organizational alignment. The organization is not aligned. Any organization that has policies that are inconsistent with the administrative or executive policy, that's just like creating your own budget when you know there's a master budget that's there for the whole thing. You can't just create, I'm gonna spend what I want to, or in this case is I'm gonna behave how I want to. And so obviously they have the liberty to do that, which obviously causes a problem, and there's some consequences behind that. But
yeah, and see that's what generated
that's
all
too
of
much
this.
freedom for management.
Right. It's
But do y'all
it's a
think the
safety
new
issue.
owners of the DMC has anything to do with what you guys are going through right now?
Be honest with me, I think they don't really care.
Oh,
yeah, and it's hard to gauge, and I can feel the uncertainty because it's hard to gauge how high that goes.
Correct.
Right? Is that what I'm feeling? That you can't even tell how high, because there's going to be people always. I'm gonna tell you how it is with white folk and white supremacy and how this works. Everybody's going to act like they don't know anything about it until they get caught.
Wow.
Yeah.
But see, we eliminated that problem because the hotline, I like to use the hotline because I done informed everybody. Because then it's supposed to be sent out to everybody. It's sent out to. Because it's like we got an officer who got terminated for putting the guy in a bear hug and taking him down to the floor. He wasn't liked because he's a whistleblower. So they asked several officers who were off duty walking by, saw this, it engaged the guy who shouldn't have been there because they dealt with him on the other shift. They dealt with this guy, and then they write statements about what happened, and everything was fine until you find out that you gave your copy of your statement to the gentleman who got fired. Next thing I know, everybody that was involved in that gets a write-up because they said you failed to enact when this was going on. But it's like, first of all, I'm a PA 330 officer. I must be in full dress uniform on the property where I'm employed and on the clock.
Right.
Which I am not on the clock because I'm on duty. I'm walking out the door. I saw it instead of getting going above and beyond the call of duty.
Right.
I got a write-up because I didn't interact with this situation.
Ain't that nothing?
Because it's one of those situations. Okay, you decide you want to shoot somebody in the head, and I don't know that's what you're gonna do. You walking beside me, you just pull out a gun, and you happen to shoot Kevin over there. And well, why did you do something? I don't know he was gonna shoot him in the head.
Right.
But well, I'm gonna write you up because you didn't take action. I'm like,
not only that, there would have been other action taken against you if you had acted
Right.
while you was off duty, because there's a lot of other liabilities. in
You
regards to
went
doing
above the law.
but you know what? I want to ask you a question, Kevin, because how did they just terminate you, or was it a process? Did they write you up, or
it was they terminated me for cell phone usage.
Oh,
for being on my cell phone.
Okay.
How they know that you wasn't getting an emergency call from somebody for backup?
That's true. But listen to this. When there was they was fixing the antennas so we can get radio transmit all through the hospital. Management cell phone.
Wow.
So when do policies start and when do it end? I mean, do you use your you use the policy for your advantage?
Right.
And then you use the policy against me to get rid of me.
And did you get right up for that?
And that's
No,
crazy.
I got fired straight out the door.
But it was a policy though that you guys get like so many right. Because when they let me go, they wrote me up for being late 3 minutes. That fourth write up, I was out the door.
I was
well, see, we use our cell phones for I write our reports. Take pictures. For example, there's a situation going on. We need some pictures. Okay.
Photos, right?
Yeah, I'll take the photo and text it to a manager.
Yeah,
from my phone to his. Then after this whistleblower thing come up, Nobody's on your cell phone at no time doing anything. I'm like, okay, so I got somebody that came in my ambulance and don't know quite where they at, trying to get some directions. Now I can't go over to Google it to find out where they're going, because you punishing me by punishing everybody else.
Do y'all have a union?
No.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to ask.
No, we don't have a union.
Wow.
But I'm still stuck on you, Bailey, for them and I say this because Bailey was there back in the day when I was there. You know what I'm saying? Much love to you, brother. So for them, and he was an outstanding. I'm gonna just tell you like this. I felt safe with these guys
because they did 17 years.
Because just like what you said, as far as the two families, and this is something that I had to encounter every day because I was at the front desk, customer service. So I would come in and start my day with 2 rival families in the lobby. And when I tell you, these brothers was always on guard, and like Mr. Daniel said, they diffuse situations before you even know what was going on. All you do is you see them escorting somebody out or something. Like, damn, what happened? It's already gone. It's already done, you know? So for them to just let you go, how is it not a process for them to write you up at least a certain amount of times before they let you go?
Nothing.
Wow.
So it actually depends on the severity of the situation, whether you can be gone, but that wasn't severe.
Yeah.
First of all, we've been doing that the whole 10 years I've been here.
Okay.
I've been on those phones taking care of hospital business.
Okay.
And
because I never know nobody just get fired for they being on their phone.
Yes, they got me on phone, being on my cell phone.
That's
and they got me for a young lady stating that a black female stating that if you was on the other side of 8 Mile, you wouldn't be acting this way. So that's hearsay.
People, when we gonna get it together?
Right. It's always
Women, who said that?
But you,
Sister.
a sister.
Yeah.
I think
Said that to you?
No, said that to our management team.
Oh, okay.
That's stating
She
that's
must
what
have been
I said.
acting ignorant.
Oh,
She was
But,
acting ignorant.
but here's my thing.
Yeah.
If you talking about across 8 Mile
Yeah.
and this shit wouldn't happen across 8 Mile, then why is this shit happening here in Detroit right now?
But you mentioned something earlier, Bailey, about, was it your wife?
My wife. My wife.
What
just
happened with that incident?
My wife just got assaulted a couple of days ago in the ER department. She works in the ER department and got assaulted by a psych patient.
Wait a minute. Wait. We got to back this up because when I used to work there, psych patients were locked up in the psych ward, in the crisis center is what we called it.
That's my understanding. They in the ER now. Lockdown unit because I believe the state shut them down because.
Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me they were regular population?
That's what I'm saying. Is you tripping?
They with the regular population. They
Correct.
not locked up in the crisis center?
No.
That's a safety issue for everybody.
It is. Because all they had, and it's not locked
Well, I hope
down.
your wife got a good lawyer.
Yeah.
Has this been addressed as a safety issue?
Hey.
I hope she got a good
Wow.
lawyer.
Right.
If not, I got one for her.
Right.
Here we go. See, I think a lot of our problem is
Damn.
our management team, our new management team, and our security don't really see a lot of what we do to understand what's going on because you're not on the floor enough.
But they read reports, right?
Yeah. See, all you know is when something goes wrong. You don't know about Mr. Bailey or Mr. Daniels when you talk this patient down and avoided this situation where you got the 2 families about to go at it. And we go over there and get them a Coke and a smile and make this thing disappear. See, nobody knows about that because you're not there on the floor to see these things.
Right.
But when somebody say you should have been on the other side of 8 Mile, that's all you hear is the negativity. So you don't really know the depth.
So they don't know how ignorant she was acting before that comment was made.
They don't know she was acting ignorant.
So that's what I'm saying. The average person don't see what we see work.
Right.
Because that's our job to put it down before it gets up.
Right.
So
well, I
you don't
applaud
get to
you,
see it.
gentlemen, because y'all really go through a lot of bullshit.
Absolutely.
You can't do 17 years. I could have done
Especially
10
on
if
the
you wasn't good at what you were
weekend.
doing.
I mean, I've seen there and on the weekends, I mean, it'd be chaotic and you'd be like, wow, when am I going to be seen? And am I really safe
Let me tell you something. I got stuck with an HIV needle.
No.
In my
By a
hand.
patient?
By a patient.
That's
HIV, hepatitis, drug user. And they had blood in the needle. I was on HIV pills for about 6 or 7 months.
Oh my gosh, how dangerous is that?
And that's where we end up with our issues now is because there's not enough of us. And we've had a real flux of psych patients come in, a lot of them.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so
because
we
they
gotta
throw
go-
them on the street.
Yeah.
So where do
we
they
gotta
have them at now? I'm still tripping. I'm trying to focus
It's an
because
area-
they usually take them to the crisis center where you are locked in. You just can't come out. So I'm still stuck on where these people
Well, so
at.
you have situations now where you have once it's full, they're going to redirect. But if the patient come in, we still got to see him. So we'll try to accommodate them.
They don't send them nowhere else to another hospital when y'all full?
You'll get one might be
We don't have no
walking down, strolling down the hall or
What we
whatnot.
got?
And we need additional staffing to take care of those situations.
This sounds very, very dangerous. I got a couple more questions because we're gonna run out of time. One of them is what's the name of the company that owns DMC now?
Tenet Healthcare out of Dallas.
Tenet.
Tenet. Yes.
Spell that.
Tenet.
Okay, and it's called Healthcare. Tenet Healthcare.
Yes.
Okay, because a lot of what I do know is that a lot of companies is really about the stock market. It's really about purchasing businesses or companies in order to increase revenue. And if they do so with certain business models, then they're going to continue to increase revenue. Sometimes it takes them some very strong messages from the community and from staff for them to start understanding that you have to take into consideration people's lives and their welfare. Because, you know, working 17 years for an employer who throws me out because and hadn't even considered me for positions that I should have been considered 10 years ago, probably. It's just a smack in the face to this community.
Right.
So I need to look that company up. Second of all, what I want to, and the reason why I just made that statement, because I wanted to bring something in perspective, because when we talk about revenue and these companies is on the stock market, and these companies is buying other companies, whether they're hospitals or manufacturing companies or what have you, they miss the point. And so much to the point, some of them don't even know what they're doing, but they're still making a lot of money. For instance, I'm gonna ask you a question. Training. What does the training look like? Because we obviously, you've already secured the fact that policies part of the training, because you're violating policies you don't even know about.
As they go.
No, oh yeah. Now, as far as our training, as far as how to deal with patients, I think is awesome.
Okay.
A lady that's in charge of that program, got to give her credits. Donna Sherwood.
Okay.
We do a 3-week training program.
Okay.
When you come in on the law.
Okay.
What we call PPC training, different tactical maneuvers and how to take a person down, how to de-escalate a situation. We have that. Our nursing staff are there also. Because of where you work at, the stuff they take off of people, when you consider you got a nursing degree, you can go anywhere, and you're still there. I got to give my hats off to those kind of people.
Right.
But they're still there because, you know, we take everybody. So we deal with a lot of mentally ill people.
I just got a comment from Veronica Redley. I don't know if any of you are familiar with her. She said, "Good evening, everyone. Fabulous job you're doing. I've been an employee at DRH for over 30 years. And as an RN, when security has been needed in our area, we look forward to the outstanding officers you are with today. It breaks my heart to know the treatment that they're receiving from management. More power to you guys. Stand up for your rights. Much love." All right, Veronica.
Thank you so much, Veronica. So with that training piece, though, but nothing about the organization, right, in regards to policy and procedure, in regards to disciplinary action. I mean, what about your policy manual that has all of the different things that's supposed to happen with staff? Does security have their own policy manual too?
Well, it exists, but see, like me, being a former director, I know what's there. I was on a policy and procedure committee, and most of them are the same. They just cater to your particular place. They'll tell you it's on the internet, but you need to know what you're looking for in order to find the policy. I know what I'm looking for. So what I do is I created me a book I keep in my locker just for those purposes. If anybody asks, because they call me the policy king. Is there a policy on this and that and other? Yeah, let me go look that up for you. It's here, it's there, whatever it is. But
So,
as far as they're teaching you the policies, no. But
I just don't understand how you walk into a job. They don't give you a policy, a manual, what to expect, what you is expected of you, and then criticize you and crucify you because you make decisions on what you feel is right.
You get a what they call a handbook that says what we expect of our employees: dignity, respect, no retaliation, and all of these various things. You get that book, but that's what you get.
Right.
We expect you to do a good job.
And
But,
that's it. Fuck
yeah.
your rules. Fuck what you think.
Yeah,
The hell
no.
with anything you
Yes,
having a
yes,
problem
sir.
with. Follow our rules.
Right.
Well, you know what? We're gonna bring this show in. It was a pleasure to be for me to be surrounded by all these men.
Yeah, so I got
all different flavors around me.
right.
You know.
I want to say that
You got one more thing to say?
Yeah, if any executives or managers you're listening and you want to come on this show or have a conversation with us about the alleged things that are going on over there, please go ahead. You can go to you can reach us through our website, which is www.detroitmotorcityradio.com. That's detroitmotorcityradio.com, and we look forward to hearing from you.
It's your man, Mr. Sam 44, man. I want to make sure to say we invited all the major networks to come down here, local networks to.
Sam and his feelings. Here I come with my violin. He feeling so good.
Ladies and gentlemen around the world and around the country, we invited the Detroit media to come and join us. We gave invitation, press releases, and did everything that we were supposed to do to advocate for these gentlemen, what they were saying, the injustices. But they felt that the queue line was more important. I don't think that a train running 3 or 4 miles is more important than the issues of security in a major hospital in a major metropolitan area. These gentlemen are been going through racism, disgrace, just management just doesn't have any concern for these gentlemen. And so therefore, Sister Shakenya, Sexy Shakenya, Brother Malik, myself, Mr. Sam 44 man, we are on your side because we know how hard it is to work in the city of Detroit and try to protect the citizens as well as protect your life in what you do every day. So we applaud you for coming on the air and giving us your story and letting us know just exactly how it's really going down.
Kevin, you want to say something, baby? What you want?
Yes, we are having a peaceful protest May the 19th in front of Detroit Medical Center, the whole campus.
What time?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, I'm there.
Join us.
Okay.
And what day you said again?
That's May the 19th. May the 19th at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock.
We're going to definitely plug that in on all of our pages. We're going to keep posting it so everybody will know. I would like to thank you, gentlemen, again. Sandman gave a heartfelt speech. I can't even say nothing behind that, but definitely AM.
AM.
Okay.
10 a.m.
Because I would have been out there at 10 p.m.
I did that, y'all. I said TPM.
But thank you for tuning in. This has been another wonderful showdown. We got Malik the King and Sam 44 man in the house.
You know it.
Kenya, and we're about to sign off. See you next week. Mwah.
Take care of yourselves.
Thank you so much. All right. Very much.
I guess I'm on it.